working on her, and she was a big champion for adaptive too, just getting all people on bikes. So yeah, her impact will burn bright forever, I think. So
Indeed. Okay. Oh, it's afternoon. Sorry. We'll call this meeting to order. We have a quorum, right? We had, would you say 8? 9, 9. Okay, that's good. Yep. I'm sorry, but I forgot to sign in sheet. You'll be okay. Wrote it down. Did the best. All right. Start with introductions. Diane Flowers, Chair of BPAC.
David Green, Vice Co-Chair.
Winnie Bennett, City of Bend.
Wendy Holzman, member.
Dave Roth, member.
Jennifer Letts, Vice Co-Chair.
Was it the vice chair?
We have one full vice, 2 of you here.
Hello, Vice Chair and your Vice Chair.
Tanya Saltzman, County Liaison.
Chris Chang, ODOT.
Reading who we are.
Pat, BPAC member, OAS.
Matt, BPAC member, High Desert Museum.
Anthony, the Lapine BPAC rep.
And Kim Curley is here. BPAC member.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's start with updates. Looks like we won't have many. Wow. Yeah, I know. So you can go first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go first.
Updates from the city of Bend. We did a pop-up at our famous diverters last week. And we talked about those diverters last week at the Red BPAC. We sat there and chatted with neighbors, and it was great. We had a lot of resistance, but that turned into kind of ease of just like being that we're here to actually listen to what they want and like clarify the pilot project. So that was a plus. We have a bikeway wayfinding project underway, also pedestrian wayfinding project. So we're trying to place signs. So we've been doing a bunch of field visits for that. And that is going to be a pedestrian wayfinding just in downtown to Old Mill. And then the bikeway is going to be cross towns, east, west, north, south corridor. So we're embarking on that. And then another thing that I'm working on is this delineator placement project, which I'd be interested to hear any feedback from BPAC. We're just kind of looking at where we put delineators, where they've worked in terms of distance and other places that they can go. And really like the idea of what I'm working on right now is trying to figure out what's the ideal spacing for these delineators. Because if you notice biking around, there's like a bunch of experiments happening around town and they're placed at all these different distances. So I'm kind of going in and just taking all the, just taking in as much information where we put them and how they feel and see where we're going to go from here. We have a little budget to increase where we have delineators. And there's simply some stressful areas where there's buffered bike lanes we can put them. But really, it's just like, what is that ideal distance? Because some people complain when they're too close, people feel like they're running into them and they can't get out. And then if they're too far apart, they're not really functioning well. So that's our updates, right?
Hey, is that going to end up in the street standards or anything, or have a standard?
The spacing of the delineators?
Spacing, what materials, that uniformity, is that the ultimate goal of this sort of project, or is that too far down the pipeline?
It's a pilot project and they're supposed to be temporary, right? So the delineators ideally would be replaced by bollards or something else more. So I don't know if they're going to be put in the standards because they are temporary.
So Wendy, are they mostly just the Flexiposts?
Yeah.
They have the Duracurbs as well.
They, in some places, like if you've seen on Portland where there's like the chevron and then they have like that kind of setup with the three more denser, 3 ones that are close to each other. That's kind of the model that I'm looking at right now. And then you don't put those, whatever those domes are called, through the whole buffer because it gets harder for people to exit the bike lane, right? Yeah, so I think that's what we're still working out too. But when it becomes permanent, then everything changes because they're going to be bollards. Yeah.
Like solid bollards?
Not flexible.
Not flexible. Yeah, I mean, and I don't know. That's also there's just ideas right now, and yeah.
So
Yeah.
someone were.
Yeah,
What?
why are those?
Right, and that's not as definite, but
Oh,
it's
okay.
just really like, this is trying to figure out what kind of,
So, yeah.
what can we put in the to create.
That makes it permanent.
Make it feel safer, make people feel more comfortable,
Yeah.
what will work, and I don't know exactly what the end game will be, if they're gonna be like giant bollards, but something more permanent, because right now those could be kind of like ripped out. We've seen them, they get ripped out or run over, so
Yeah,
that is
but
not sustainable.
seems more useful than car crashing into a bollard or a person getting hit in a bollard.
Yes, yeah, and I don't know for sure
Yeah.
exactly what the end,
Yeah,
like
something.
what the permanent materials would be.
Yeah.
But it's more like right now we're thinking about what is the spacing?
And then is your budget for implementation as well? So you said you're asking for additional locations where they'd be good, or is it just for looking at sort of where they've been placed?
We have the locations identified based on, like, basically we can only put them where there's a buffered bike lane existing. And the locations have been identified just based on traffic counts and observations, but it's more like the spacing right now that we're kind of hashed out. So that's what we got going on.
How would you like input from this group
You
Just-
can email me directly if you want.
as individuals, or do you want, okay.
Yeah, whatever you guys like, however you, but you're welcome to contact me directly. WBENNETT.
So what locations, is it all over the city or just?
We're looking at locations where there's existing buffered bike lanes, where there is high traffic. And like just issues where the buffered bike lane could
Yeah.
more than what it is.
So where would, give me an example of one.
Places like Brookswood, Purcell,
Okay.
I don't have all the areas written down.
A map you could share?
Good question. It's a
Yeah.
work in progress.
Helpful.
Yeah.
Is
We
it
are.
Portland? Is
with-
it on Portland?
Portland has existing
Oh, okay.
delineators, yeah. One thing we are putting together, so stay tuned for that. We are putting together for the fall a big map with the recommendations of where we would,
Okay.
where the locations of where these delineators would go. Right now, it's like basically I need to calculate to figure out how many delineators we're gonna use. But we'll put out a proposal of like recommended spaces for them, like recommended roads that we'll be putting them on. And that'll come out and that'll go to council. And so those will be recommendations coming out in the fall of location. But the distance of the delineators, like how far each one is from each other, is something that I just need to hash out before then.
How are you, or is this the safety money that is
No.
coming? This is not go bond money?
This is not go bond money, no.
Is it the safety money from the top, or
It's a
do
good
you?
question.
Okay,
Get back to it,
Right.
yeah.
So what kind of feedback did you get from the pop-up in the communities?
Similar to what we've already gotten.
Okay.
People are feeling a little bit better as the paint, because the one we went to was Lava and Georgia.
Okay.
And that one has the green paint on it. And so it doesn't have all the cones and extra signage on it. So it looks better. So people some people were like, this is great. It depended on how they came in. We had some people like pull their cars over, get out of their cars and come in hot. And,
You're like, you have to go that way.
yeah, sorry. But the reality is like some of those people didn't know how to submit their comments and they were mad and they were still in that where we think we do so much to getting out there and talking to people. They still were like, well, who can I talk to? And we're like, well, that's why we're sitting in the middle of this diverter with a reflective vest on. And once they were able to know where to submit some of their comments, that was good. Also just reassuring everyone that part of that process is it's a pilot project, our favorite word. And that we're here to put this here to get your feedback. And it was here because we got feedback that people wanted this change, but if it's not going to function in a way that everyone wants, then that's why we're there. And so that was the biggest thing. They thought that this is it. This is what's going to be for the rest of their lives. And so we got to kind of have those conversations that it's not forever unless it ends up everyone likes, and unless hopefully what happens is there's a diversion of traffic that works out in the way that kind of everyone has theorized. And then people realize that it's actually a benefit to blocks that they live on. A lot of neighbors were very, very happy that it slowed traffic down. So we got that same kind of mix of feedback. People came and hung out for like an hour and talked to us sometimes. We should have brought snacks.
Then they would have stayed longer.
Stayed longer, so, yeah. But good feedback. I mean, it's good to put in the negative and the positives into the archive. So
Is there a mechanism for like QR codes or something like that on those in the future? So are they on there?
we have a brochure holder and we have brochures in there with QR code. It would be nice if there was more of a permanent.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
in there was weatherproof, and that might be something obviously come winter that we'll definitely have to figure out. Because,
Yeah, winter will be interesting.
yeah.
Something like one of those yard signs or something that's
Yeah.
hard plastic, that's just like,
Yeah, there's a sandwich board at some of them, but those ones, they end up getting stolen and
yeah.
destroyed. But it would be nice. I think that it seems like there could be potential for getting something solidified on those diverted on something. 'Cause there's some signs there, so that could be something we can talk about to get something more permanent where they can get.
It'll probably help. The people who came in hot are probably the ones that have talked about it the most with other people. And for you to talk to them, now they can go back and tell, you know, two people and they tell two people and so on and so on.
Yeah, yeah, and we'll be doing more of those. It's fun. Let you know where they are, so if you want to come talk to us.
I was
Yeah.
curious, I might have missed it, but when the pilot project ends, is there a date on that?
There, I don't have the exact date. It's a 2-year pilot project, so I think
Okay.
we're a year and 3/4 through or something about there. No, a
Okay.
year and a half.
No.
I'm
And
sorry.
A year.
Flip that.
Yeah, about.
Yeah.
We got about a
It's in.
year and 3/4 left to go.
And does it seem like is there a higher likelihood that it'll stay permanent? I mean, you probably can't say at this point, but like, I guess I'm curious if there'll be a period where it gets pulled out and then put back, or what? Maybe we just
Like-
don't know right now.
Yeah, I think we don't know right now. Yeah, I think we are just gonna continue collecting feedback from everyone and also collecting all the traffic data to see if we're getting those kind of results. So that all needs to come in.
How are you collecting traffic data?
They have systems in place that are recording traffic counts, and I don't know exactly what those are. Yeah, no, we're not standing out there, because even though we did stand out there with clickers when we were at the diverters, but they're actually tracking it with their systems on adjacent streets and on the street where the
So you
diverters are.
get pre-installation traffic counts?
They have some pre-installation traffic too, yes.
Have you done anything with like Google Maps or anything to
Working on it.
market? Yeah.
Yeah, so that's been, I think we've mentioned, I don't know if we mentioned this last time, is that it's, that's been a complaint and people, I even observed it when we were sitting there, we were watching people, I saw someone with his phone, like, looked like he was gonna try to make a turn and couldn't make the turn,
Right.
obviously mapping. So we're working on it, they were not sure, they said, yes, we can do it, not sure how long, but I don't have any like solid, feed update on that yet.
I would think that was probably summer traffic with people from out of town and getting directions into that area and then there's
Right.
diverter.
Right,
Yeah.
because that's that's right, that's that connection too from the downtown. Or is one of the neighbors.
Sizemore is one of them, and that's a very often a Google direction.
Yeah.
To
Oh,
take
is
you,
it?
yes, it's very often a Google direction to take you right straight through.
And there was another interesting thing someone had mentioned, that the Google will function in a way that it will route you on a faster street to save time, so you might pick that. And so potential for in the future, if there's more adoption of slower streets and everything kind of goes down to 20, there could be some shifting on how Google's routing things, so.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but yeah. So I know Sizemore is probably a big one, with people on Google.
That's
Yeah.
why they put the diverters in.
Yeah,
Right, because it was being used for that very reason.
Yep, and they're collecting all traffic data for that to see. And so there's some preliminary reports that's helping things, yeah.
Awesome, thank you. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Well, summer. Pat, got any OAS updates?
No, not really. I mentioned last month, we're working on this Pine Nursery center. So that's all just still kind of in the works. So we will have something here the next month or so. But our programs are up and running. So if you are just curious about OAS adaptive cycling, 4 to 5 days a week, we have things going on out at Pine Nursery Park. So come take your dog for a walk and pop by and check out our bikes. And we're also running all of our mountain bike programs and all that concurrently. So that, and other than the topic we touched on at the beginning, those are kind of the big things in our world right now. So
Thanks. Hey, can you let us know if it's like kind of off, if it's this month and before meeting or whatever, short notice, your ribbon cutting, so we can.
oh, for sure, yeah. I would suspect probably mid-August. So at this point, I'll probably see you all next month and we'll have a firmer date. But as soon as we have it lined up, I can send a note out for sure. So
Cool.
Great. Thank you. Chris.
Yeah, lots going on. The Shoots Triangle Plan, that's going on. The open house just closed at the end of last month. So gotten some good comments. I haven't seen the full summary yet, so I'll share that when we have that. But more excitingly, we're moving on to sort of preferred alignment, concept design soon. So that is really where I'm hoping we'll have some input and some pencil sharpening. So
You know how many comments you got?
no.
Okay. I mean, I think I saw it a lot of places. I saw it, I got the city to push it out but I was seeing it other channels, so I was hoping there was gonna be a lot of participation.
Yep, lots of conversation. I've heard people ask about it when I'm out at like the BCD fair and other places. So yeah, lots of
I
good.
sent it out to all of everybody that's on our mailing list.
Yeah, so put it out there. So we'll see. I'll find out next week or so, 2 weeks. Lava Butte to Lapine, that project's moving forward. Matt, we should have a chat at some point. Talked yesterday, but yeah, that project is moving along. Hawthorne, so ODOT's helping the city deliver the Hawthorne Bridge project. So we're getting close to DAP. That's sort of the first 30–40% where we establish footprint. So that's cruising along towards construction there. Be exciting.
So can you back up for a second? You said, because you mentioned Matt, you said Lava Butte to Lapine, or did?
Oh, did I say Lava Butte to Lapine? I meant Lava Butte
Okay.
to Bend.
Okay.
Bend to Lava Butte, whichever order these things all go in.
God, you got me all excited there for a second. I'm like, no, wait, what? Dang it. Okay.
Yeah. Lapine planning process is going on and we can have conversations around it there and hopefully with Oregon Community Paths, hopefully early next year, we'll revisit some of that.
I'll
So,
take it. That works for me.
yeah.
Something I
Plant
was
an
just,
idea.
oh,
Sorry,
sorry, Chris.
I'm gonna plant an idea for Anthony, but something I'd really love as a planning project within, maybe not the Lapine TSP, but for Oregon Community Paths might be a Lapine to Lapine planning project on how we sharpen that pencil on the city to the state park there. I think that's a
Oh
good
yeah,
logical
that'd be
connection.
awesome. Yeah, for sure. Hit me up. Let's do that.
Yeah. So,
No,
sorry,
I was,
Matt.
I was just gonna add something museum front. I mean, it's packed. One of our parking lots is closed right now for this expansion for the next year. But like at 10 a.m. there's almost no parking, and it's one of these things that yeah, there's got to be alternative ways to get to this place, whether that's CET or e-bikes, and so just excited for that project, obviously, and I think continue to be a hub kind of here between Bend and Sun River, but it's wild. I mean, it fills up and people circle and they leave, and it's just I think bringing in some alternative transportation will be a huge support from the museum side of things.
Yeah, they could be huge. Yes, the shuttle bus would be nice too. Had that. Love to include that. So a couple more Greenwood projects should be kicking off later this year. This will be combination city and ODOT project. Functionally from 1st to 6th Street on how we get through that signal, how do we carry through that road diet. So we got some funding for that, so that's exciting. And then a bunch of crossings as well. So we'll have the crossing at Lafayette, Norton. Lafayette will be part of that Greenwood project. Norton will be a standalone, and again, we still have the planning processes for the more northern parts going on, so that should be super exciting, hopefully. We should come pretty darn close to hitting our crossing spacings and everything there, which is on that section of Third Street through town. So that's exciting. That's about I think the best we'll be able to do, but if we get all the marked crossings and everything in there, unfortunately, I don't think we'll be getting a shared use path or anything without blowing up a bunch of buildings, so kind of outside the realm of what I think is feasible, but these marked crossings, I think will make a huge difference there.
So Chris, the one at Vale and Underwood, those are already installed, is that?
We have one that's installed, so we'll be looking at two new ones, so that'll be at Vale where there is not one. It's either Vale or Underwood, sorry, one of them currently has one. One does not. So looking at a new one there and then another new one. Sorry, I don't have it in front of me, but one more new one in that stretch. And then also converting the one, I believe it's in front of Safeway, maybe that's Seward.
Yeah, sure.
That it has an existing marked crossing, but converting that to an RRFB. So adding that in.
So those three are funded, Vale, Underwood, and Seward?
We are funded for the planning for those, not entirely certain on the construction, so that's wait and see. But we're going through that planning process right now. The construction at Norton and Lafayette should be funded. Okay. It's funded as much as any project is until we have to cut scope. So, yes, though, but Lafayette will be delivered with that Greenwood project as well. And then last one's be a big project, but likely we're gonna start this US 20 to US 97 interchange planning. Right over here. Planning process will be kicking off soon. City of Bend has some money from the GO bond that could be used for this, so TBD. But that could be part of the project, get it funded, so.
So where exactly is that?
This will be a US 20 southbound to US 97 southbound connection.
That's the connection, it'll go straight to the parkway?
Correct. So we'll be looking at that.
What everybody's been screaming for.
What?
Everybody's screaming for
People will
that.
be excited about it. So, if you look out the window here, you see that left turn lane
Oh.
of Empire.
Okay.
Gets all the traffic off,
Yeah.
Yeah.
trying to make that left turn on Empire.
Not all, I mean, again, this has been this long-term conversation, but much of that traffic is going eastbound on Empire.
Yeah.
To all the housing, so. We'll see what happens, but as we start this planning process, what's that sort of diversion and all that change? So there will be a big bike ped component on it, because it'll be
Good.
a brand new connection. How do we get across there?
Yeah.
So we'll definitely want some input, feedback. I've got some crazy ideas in my mind on how we do it. This RRFB is way better than it was. It's still not nice. It is still not pleasant. So,
But it's wonderful.
yeah, compared to previous conditions, I still don't think it's great, but that's my personal take based on the speeds and volumes. So,
Yeah.
So it's just southbound from US 20 to southbound US 97? It's not a full interchange all directions?
TBD
Okay, depending on funding and
on
space.
lots of things, funding, space, all the things. But yes, as you're looking at that connection, we're definitely going to be looking at everything. But primarily that is the motion we're looking at, southbound to southbound. But if you're designing that, pretend it's a roundabout as previous concepts have been. Thus you open up all directions. So
Gonna be an interesting bridge. Yeah, no kidding.
Mhm.
yeah, we'll see.
Really no other way to do it except a bridge all the way across.
Sorry, what was that?
Aerial roundabout.
Kidding, but
Only if they put the
right
way.
slides.
In Wisconsin,
Yeah,
on the off ramps.
that's my idea, similar. That should be starting as soon as we can get through contracting. So it's in our sort of statement of work procurement, but could be next week, it could be 4 months from now when procurement makes it through, so. Yeah, that'll be an exciting one, but yeah, we'll definitely want a lot of feedback, sort of, especially on that bike ped component on how do we tie? Because we have a bunch of different networks going on here. You know, there's the path that goes on 97 over to Bend River Mall from Butler Market. Do we extend that path? Do we tie through? How do we get over this new interchange or through that? So a lot of feedback that we'll want to try to figure out how we best do this. So it'll be a big project.
All right, sisters?
Yeah, just things moving along. I think everybody who attended the sisters meeting heard about all these projects, but our Elm Street project connecting the Peterson Ridge Trailhead to Village Green Park that, you know, that went out for bid. We awarded the bid, so local contractors, so they should be able to start pretty soon. Still, you know, they have to order the bridge across White Tree Creek, but see how long that'll take, but they should be getting to start on that relatively soon. It came in under budget too. I know. Also, some of those Locust Street improvements that we were talking about, but they're also kind of, no, it's not really on where is that? Bypass, but no, it's after you use the bypass, you keep going north kind of by the Sisters Airport. There was, you know, there's a lot of improvements on there, including there was a stretch of bike path that was missing, bike path slash sidewalk. And so that got installed. So it's kind of connected the very northern portion of that all the way down into town, which is nice. And I think more to come on finishing up crosswalks on that road. The sooner the better, especially that's going to be an official bypass someday. It's just better that people get accustomed to the fact that there are crosswalks. You don't want to do that after the fact.
Yeah, right.
Try to squeeze those in. Council got to see a workshop on our quick and dirty safety corridor study that we requested after the pedestrian death we had this winter downtown. So the consultants with Kittleson, presented a number of options. And so the rest of, I was on that committee, but the rest of council hadn't seen most of that. So I think they were pleased, a lot of pretty low budget fixes, some easy fixes. So whether that's ODOT paying for it or us, I think there's definitely some wiggle room in there, and mostly around signage and things like that, speed signage and stuff like that. So they're gonna refine that and bring that back to us. We'll rubber stamp it, and then the city can kind of start chipping away at all those.
So that'll be approved by council, that RSA is issued.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we need to see the final version of it, but I think everybody's pretty happy with it. And then Sisters Trail Alliance is kicking off their big project. They have a Travel Oregon to, rate the whole trail system for accessibility and trailheads and all that kind of stuff. So city has somebody sitting in that group, a staff member. So that's a really exciting project too. I think that's it's about a 2-year project, but got a lot of money for it and a lot of eyes on it. So everybody's really excited about that. The opportunity of being somewhere where people of all abilities can come and know where they are going to fit the best when they're moving around town and beyond town. Mostly beyond town is the focus, but obviously a lot of our trails connect. So that's it.
Quick update for the Sisters Downtown one. Been talking about it for like 3 months now, but hopefully Oregon Health Authority will give us money soon. It's been a long process. If you think working with ODOT is slow, this is very similar, but you add another state agency on front of it. So we're hopeful we'll be able to have that money and do some of that work on the RSA through the downtown and start that planning process for the longer term solutions as soon as we get the money. And then
You doing this, is that farther out? Like, because we're kind of more.
we have short term stuff, so that we just
Like physically, like to city limit to city limit. Or-
probably not fully city limit to city limit, but that downtown corridor.
Yeah, okay.
Chris,
So
you
hopefully
said
that was,
Oregon Health Administration is giving you
Yes.
money to do safety stuff in town?
yes, so we've been working with them for about 3 months now, trying to get funding. It's a decent amount of money. It's, I think, somewhere around $3 million to do rural connections to health facilities. So that's
Oh, I see.
money through, yeah, money they've gotten through, I forget what the federal one is, some health authority there. And so they are trying to partner with us to, expand beyond their typical breadth, but also look at the physical environment. And so these, there you go, Kim Curley. Kim Curley should answer this for me.
Go.
That's the one. Yeah, so we're hoping it will help address some of these areas, how we connect these communities to those health centers throughout there. So Downtown Sisters has, forget, not Ben Memorial Clinic, but one of those, High Lakes Health.
All of them except St. Charles is out by Ray's.
Yeah.
And all the other doctor's offices are downtown.
Downtown, so we'll have some money for Sisters and also Prineville.
Yeah, cool.
That's cool.
It's exciting if one bureaucracy to the other could figure out how to pass money.
And so I was gonna pick transfer money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And if we could, I mean, it seems like a good use of that money for that access problem we have with that RV park as well. At the east entrance to Sisters, that's isolated there. Right across from the Five Pine Lodge.
yes.
No crosswalks or sidewalks or anything.
That one I think is gonna have to be a separate one, but yes, we can definitely look at that. We can loop back around, we can talk about that within the. We might be able to talk about that within sort of that Deschutes Triangle one. If there's a nexus, but if not, we'll
Yeah.
find a way, let's have a conversation.
It's like-
I'm glad to help.
I think Oregon Health is so confusing, because it's this quasi RV park / mobile home park, and so those are two different agencies that manage those at the state level, which is super fun. But I think Oregon Health Authority is one of them.
Yeah.
Because of they're more on that hotel transitory kind of side of things, if I'm remembering this correctly, but do not quote me.
Well, let's.
Do not record this.
Make it all the easier to try to figure things out.
Yeah.
But yeah, glad
Okay,
to.
well, it's good to know. Thank you.
Hmm.
Appreciate that.
I didn't realize that the state of Oregon had so many stovepipes in their agencies.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, this should be a cool project. We're excited, but. Yeah. Yeah,
You knew this.
talk about across agencies, not even in agencies.
Stovepipes within stovepipes.
Yeah, yeah.
And, all right, I'm gonna move this along.
Yeah.
Anthony, you got any updates from Lapine?
Uh,
Oh, well.
I,
come
I,
back.
I don't have anything. We had our second big TSP planning meeting last week and it went well, but nothing's been set in stone yet, but ideas are flowing. And, yeah, I saw a couple people on bikes the other day. So like people with bikes are here now. So the city's changing. Well, we'll see if we can make them feel a little safer.
Good, thanks.
Well, you had a question?
I'm just wondering, Jennifer, now that we're getting into the swing of the height of the summer season and with Quilt Show coming up, how are you feeling? Are people actually using the around the city diversion or are people still going to Cascade primarily? Any sense of whether that's been
Yeah, I don't-
picking up more business out there or not really?
Yeah, it's hard to say. I don't think we've got any traffic counters or anything, but so it's hard to tell. The freight traffic is still going through downtown because the other directions is not as well designed
Yeah.
to handle larger vehicles. So and that's the ultimate goal is
Right, to get the freight off.
the number one goal is to get the freight traffic out of downtown. We don't want all the traffic out of downtown because they bring the money. So, but yeah, I mean, I think there's more people using it.
I just, the roundabouts also, at least on the end closest to Bend, does kind of back up a little bit more there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I came through 2 days ago. Our Corvette group went to Silverton or to Mount Angel for a sausage feed. And we came back, there was 6 cars coming through. And I was in the middle and I took the bypass and everybody else went through town and I beat them by 12 cars. So midday in the summer, you
Okay.
Right.
can beat.
Good. Science.
Official counts. Yeah, all right. Did I miss anybody? I don't think so. Any, at least not anybody's here. Oh, did you choose Kenny?
Okay, sometimes I don't have updates, so, but our transportation planner is back, so I have a lot of things to read from him. In terms of transportation planning, Baker Road, Lava Butte multi-use pathway is expected to enter beginning construction phases in the next several months. Choose Triangle, we already talked about. In terms of road projects, Buckhorn Road to Lower Bridge, preliminary engineering will be undertaken throughout this year, construction for next year. Lower Bridge and 43rd Street intersection improvement project involves intersection revisions that will improve bicycle safety. There's ongoing construction through this fall. The Sun River South Century intersection improvements project continues. Continued construction at the roundabouts at Venture and Spring River Road. They're going to be doing right-of-way work and construction throughout 2027. South Century Drive Bridge Rehab Project, which is just north of the Sun River Business Park. Not super bikey, but preliminary engineering will be undertaken throughout 2026 and construction in 2027. Tumalo Reservoir Road has been ongoing in little pieces. The O.B. Riley to Sizemore improvement project, the preliminary engineering is complete with construction continuing through the summer. And lastly, Horse Butte Road, they're working on some tree removal and asphalt repair right now as we speak. That's all I got.
Okay, moving on. Approval of June minutes. They were long.
I move approval of the June minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
See hands.
Aye.
Yep, there we go. All right. Open position update.
Okay, we had 2 candidates. They were both really good applicants. Both of them had really pretty good experience working with organizations in the transportation area. They were both really personable and well-spoken. Bob Lund was a civil engineer in his whole career. He focused on transit pretty much his whole career. He did a lot of design of transit stations and some of the transit corridors as well. And he has a lot of experience with state DOTs and city government. Ryan Howard has more experience with, well, let's see, Bob is also a big volunteer with CODA and some other bike-related activities around town. So the family does a lot of biking. Ryan Howard is got more experience with bike and pedestrian issues, we felt. He has young children and has worked a lot with safe routes to schools. He's thought a lot about e-bikes and is starting an e-bike academy focused on education and safety. And he's an attorney and a former city councilor.
In Newburgh, is that right?
In Newburgh, yes. It would be wonderful to have both of them. And our recommendation is that we move Ryan Howard forward. So do we need a motion or, any discussion questions? Did everybody see their applications?
Is it just us?
Just the,
Interview.
I think it was only sent out to the ones that were gonna meet with them.
Did I I can't remember.
Anybody else see hit their applications or was it just the interview committee? Okay. Do any of those names ring a bell for anybody? Bob Lund or Ryan Howard, just out of curiosity? No, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I don't know either of them. Happy to go with the committee's recommendation there. Yeah.
One thing I will tell you, Matt, you might be interested in, because Ryan has like a 3-year-old and they're doing some activities at the museum this summer, and he's trying to figure out from where they live, how to maybe get there safely with this kid. So I thought that, that was pretty interesting. I like that he's got, young children and looking for ways that they can safely ride. I mean, obviously with an adult, but to get to activities that they need to.
Yeah, very cool. I think I've met Ryan. I'm picturing his bike, like it's an e-bike with a big kid basket sort of thing, and I feel like we've talked, but I'm not positive. But again, yeah, just I'm also happy to go with the committee recommendation. But yeah, that's great.
I also imagine, not positive or not, but next year we'll also have probably have maybe an opening.
Oh, next year?
Well, we have the other half of the committee.
Yeah.
It comes up next year.
Year, okay.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Ryan had put in a reference to someone I knew in Portland through BTA and Street Trust. And I contacted her and she was glowing, absolutely glowing. Says Giddy, he's just very good. So
Yeah, they were both fantastic. So yeah, it was a little hard, but just, I think, because Ryan just had experience working specifically in this area already. I mean, I think Bob's experience with transit and the intersection of transit and, bike ped stuff would be really useful too, but if we had to be nitpicky, then yeah, I think we're leaning towards Ryan, so.
And since we talk about e-bikes, almost every meeting in conflict is having someone who's involved with education about it. And he was very clear, though, that he advocates for clear spaces for all users. He's not saying that only for e-bikes, but he's like bikes and pedestrians, other users. We also have to figure out a way that everyone can move, safely through the system. So
We need a motion
So Tanya, do we need a motion to recommend to the council?
To the board, yeah, and I'll take it to the board, which is
Okay.
largely just a consent agenda, so.
make a motion that we recommend Ryan to be our next EPAC member.
And I'll second.
All in favor to recommend to the board, motion to recommend to the board that Ryan be our next member?
I
Any nays? Okay, that makes it easier.
Yeah, so I will take this onto the consent agenda of the board. It'll take a couple weeks because we only upload it on Wednesdays for the following Wednesday, but, and then whoever contacts, Bob Lund should probably, I guess, just mention that he should stick around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
can, meetings are open to the public if people are
Right.
really interested, and we've had prospective committee members come to meetings to be like, hey, it's me. And to just get, in the loop, that's always an option for people.
Tanya, what kind of documentation do you want from us?
I don't need anything.
Oh, seriously?
I have the application materials, so,
Okay.
yeah, I just have to submit something to the board. It should be easy, and those of you who got reappointed should have received emails. You might not have, because they had a question about some contact information, and I didn't get a chance to follow up, but I swear you're reappointed, and you should get it soon. Yeah, it was weird.
Okay.
It's like, we were missing a phone number or something strange, but
Okay.
you're good.
Very good.
You've been reappointed.
Yeah, you've been reappointed, so you've been blessed.
Yeah, I got mine, and Phil had thanks Wendy next to his signature.
Great.
Yeah, the at-large ones come from I don't know if the city ones do that.
They all ultimately, I think, get blessed by the board.
Oh,
We just have the extra step with the cities.
yeah, got it.
It's a lot of wrangling. But yeah, we did it.
Yay.
Until next year.
Till next.
But yeah, this is a reminder that we should start this process once we know, we should start it early just to know if people want to not continue with VPAC, so we can initiate the interview process, because it always takes longer than we think.
What's the official date?
June 30th.
June 30th.
Oh, we came really close.
And only honestly, this one was like a little bit because of my vacation.
No, it's
Probably could have. And it doesn't really matter a ton, but, yeah. But we did good. I think we, our timing was good, but we should always be aware of that, like making
Yeah.
it for the spring to ask people if they want to
Yes.
be reappointed.
And thank you to, let's see, the four of
the
you
four of us.
Yeah. for helping me. I appreciate that. I have to spend time with my son.
Yeah, nice. Do you want to get back to them or are we gonna wait?
Do you want me to?
Official or?
We probably better wait. We told them 2 weeks.
You were actually really accurate with your timing of when it would go to the consent agenda for the board and stuff. So I think he knows that it's gonna be. But I don't know who, if we wanted
We should
to.
probably go to
It's
the,
personal preference, but you could let them know and say the consent agenda is scheduled for this date.
Yeah, could you let me know when the consent agenda is scheduled and I'll give them
Yes.
that update. Yeah.
Perfect. At this point, I don't think the board's gonna say no. So I think we're pretty.
No, not at all. It's just a
And,
formality.
David, you were pretty clear that it probably wouldn't be approved before the next,
Right.
our next meeting, so I think he's aware of that. So,
It'd be nice to let him know.
yeah,
what about Bob?
Not a movie?
yeah, somebody ought to probably let Bob know that he's not,
Do you want to, should we do that before the consent agenda or make sure that?
Oh, either way, I mean, just let them know that you've gone with another.
Probably let him know it was gonna be a couple weeks as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would,
I don't know. I wouldn't tell us it's gonna be a couple of weeks. It's gonna be waiting for a couple of weeks. They can maybe, I think it might be good to just let them know that, please reapply again. We were very impressed, but we did go with a different candidate.
And they're gonna be approved in 2 weeks, yeah.
yeah, that's true.
I mean, I'm happy to do that. I just, what if, I guess my question is, what if something happens and the county commission does something?
Weird.
It's never happened before.
That would be weird.
That would be weird for this, but, we can go on vibes. It's up to you.
I think the sun would blow up before that would happen.
I think it's always good though, just to confirm the person before you let the other person go, because what if Ryan changes
Yeah.
his mind in the next week or something?
Yep,
Yeah, you're right.
So
Something like that.
yep,
you just never know.
yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
So David, you're gonna.
I'll take,
for those.
yeah,
I'll let you know the date.
I'll send them a note when they get on the consent agenda and then I'll follow up with each of them individually after that.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, Hero Award. We have not moved forward on the Hero Award. Anthony, any ideas on, have you updated
Design?
the design? That's the word I'm looking for. Thank you.
Oh, he said he was going
It's
to
passive.
passively listening,
Okay.
so maybe he'll chime in.
So we made the awards several months ago and none of the recipients have heard yet. So
Right.
Do we want to send an announcement out before I think we need to move somehow on it. in the next-
Yes.
Yeah.
This is Kim. We had 4 responses to the form, and I think we agreed that we wanted
Yes,
to give
we did.
everyone an award.
Yes.
We
did.
agreed to that.
Yep.
But we didn't have a design and we didn't have certificates.
I think the last time around when Anthony presented one, we were good with it. It was my recollection. He made some tweaks. He took out some of the feet, but I thought we were good with it. But does anyone else have that
I
same?
feel like that's right.
Yeah, but we need to let them know that it's happening and that we'll invite them to a Board of County Commissioners meeting to get the certificate at some
Yes.
point.
Yeah, so do we need to get on the calendar with the board?
To the board.
Yes, and see, now it's kind of out of sync, because in the past, is this the one that coincided with the annual report?
Ooh, there's a
That
problem.
did not
I
occur.
haven't done it in.
I mean, it can be separate. It can be a different, we can just do the award. That's fine.
We talked about maybe having more presence in front of the Board of County Commissioners.
Yes, yes.
So if we,
I would do it.
so if we do this thing and then do the annual report, at least we have some interface with them more frequently.
And then, and the board's gonna be totally different come January.
Yeah.
Like drastically different, right? So they're gonna have to figure out their specifics. So it's kind of a good time for us to be creative too.
Okay, so when do we want to present these? Sooner than later would be my
I think.
thought, if we have the certificates or we have the,
Is the idea that
I don't
we
have the bite
invite
of it.
recipients to the meeting, kind of like Safe Sidewalks, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
someone says stuff?
Yeah.
I'm just thinking what this entails, and then we hand them their certificates.
like this
That's the
stuff.
the important things.
Yeah.
The board schedules is always weird in the summer because of
Yeah, I would
stuff
imagine.
like that, but if we targeted like August, I could sort of narrow it
Yeah.
down or something like that, and then that's pretty easy to figure out, so just let me know.
So the first step, we need to let the recipients know that they've been awarded and we're going to invite them, I think, and then make sure that Anthony can get the certificates completed and we have a way to get them printed.
Yeah. I mean, we have a printer, if there's, we can physically print something, I think we have cardstock, so we can figure something out.
Okay,
But we should get that date set so that we can tell the recipients, you're gonna get your award on this date. Yeah,
So is it kind of waiting until you can kind of find a,
yeah, I'll look at the board
Date.
schedule, but I'm thinking, do we want to try to do it in July or August, late July or early August
A
is,
little tight.
yeah, mid-August? August?
August sounds good.
Okay.
And that gives Anthony some time to do some finishing touches if he needs to.
Kim said, how about late fall and we can push out your irrigation during winter combo too? Now we're doing irrigation, Kim?
Yeah,
we all-
turning your sprinklers off when it gets cold, so people don't fall and slip on the ice. That one.
Usually put it on social media. But we do Safe Sidewalk Awards, if that's what you're referring to.
Just if we needed more content, that was
Yeah.
a topic that, we used to really push in the fall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's been hanging out there a long time.
It's been hanging there for a
Yeah.
while. We'd like
Like
to get this
over
done.
with.
Yeah,
Yes.
In a good way, not in a bad.
Yeah.
It's over with.
yes.
I know, because I
The
keep
date,
running into someone
email
who
you.
represents the
So
Ford
find a
Foundation,
date,
and I think who will be coming to accept the award, but I can, oh, no, you can't say anything yet.
Yeah.
Oh, no, so I was sort of like.
Yeah, so find a date, just so everybody knows, I will be out of town the middle of August. So,
And you should be there as.
yeah.
What are those
So
dates that you're not there?
probably the 15th to the 20th.
Okay, maybe we can try to get it in before that.
Okay.
That's my,
That would be the,
okay, so I'll find a date, email you, and then we can work on that.
and preferably, well, make that the 14th to the 25th.
And David, were you saying just a flag to the recipients to know that it's coming? Or are we gonna wait for that date before we reach out to them?
I think we should wait for the date so we
I think
can tell them,
yeah,
save the date.
Okay,
yeah,
But I can get that, hopefully early next week.
okay.
nice.
And I can send a note to Anthony and make sure that the certificates are in. Okay.
All right, that sounds good.
Okay, great.
And then you wanted to talk about, David, you want to talk about the BPAC rep to the Ben Lapine School District? Is Anthony already doing that?
Well, yeah, so Michelle Rhodes is the Ben Lapine school district rep.
Yes.
And she has a Safe Routes to School committee going. And she would like a BPAC rep on that.
Oh.
And Anthony is the Lapine city rep on that, but I don't know if he's been going regularly. And Neil is the environmental center rep on that. And so I was hoping that we could have one of them double up rather than
Yeah.
have a new person.
Okay. So I can send it, since Neil and I think Anthony says he's passively listening. If you're listening, I will send you something and see if we can coordinate that. So, just
I don't think we need 3 people with it.
I agree.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, that seems, okay. Now I understand what we're talking about. Okay. Send it
I've seen
later.
pictures of Neil back at the environmental center with his baby, so I don't know if he's on paternity leave still or not.
Sure.
Yeah, I saw Neil actually outside Roundabout Books with his wife and baby a week or 2 ago. So I popped out and said hello and got to see the baby. And they both seemed very happy and the little guy was a cutie. So yeah, it's good.
You can't blame him for being cute.
And the parents were just like in that happy glow of thinking, oh goodness, the baby actually sleeps pretty well. Because they both seem pretty happy.
Must be getting sleep. Okay, so I think moving on to our last topic of the charter and sort of that existential conversation that Tanya says we have every so often. We probably don't have, well, we've got almost everybody here. A couple people missing is good. So can you pull up from the website, the BPAC 2022 goals?
Yeah.
Maybe we can start there.
We have goals?
We have goals
Oh.
and we publish them, and it's obvious that nobody really looks at them because there's also a document that follows it that has a whole bunch of links in it and none of them work. They go nowhere, and we put it on there twice.
Links that go nowhere.
Yeah, that's.
You might explain that on a migration issue when they migrate over the new.
I mean, I will say, like, when we just changed to our new website, so many things broke, but this predated that.
Yeah. Dang it. Okay, good. So, yeah, so just to kind of walk through, as Tanya's working on getting the,
Do you want me to, oh.
if you could share
let
it.
me log into
Great.
this. Ooh, I don't.
Oh, you can't?
Ooh, that'd be, they shouldn't that be?
I want to call minute.
Okay.
I'm not logged into this. Not in compound.
Oh. We will get there. There's the goals.
I put the link in the chat if that's helpful.
Oh, yeah, there you
That's
go.
actually a little easier. Thanks.
Thanks, Matt.
All right.
Those of you on Zoom can't see that, but maybe you can click on the link on your own. Is that cool?
Pretty constrained goals. Group like this. It's really nice.
Yeah, they're not bad. They could have.
Doctor, I cannot read that
Oh,
very
I
well.
can show-
What's that?
I mean, we can either see Matt or we can see the goals. It's a choice.
Is that shared with those online too?
No, I just.
Wait,
Oh, that's
I
just-
got them up. I got them up here on my computer. Yeah, we got them.
Is everybody online able to pull them up?
Okay.
Yeah.
You're saying yes.
Just saw Kim's little floaty thumb.
We just have this in front of you guys, so we can't see it.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
at least we had them.
Yeah, I think we're all set.
Okay. All right, so I think we can probably agree that we have not taken a position on the first one. But we probably should.
Can I take a step back?
Yes,
Is this agenda item, is our goal to redo the 22 goals? Is that what we're trying to do now? Or are we?
I think there's a couple of things we want to understand is why we're doing, we've talked about this as a smaller group, when we went to talk about an annual, summit. Yeah, thank you for filling in my gaps. It happens as I get older. And we found ourselves wondering why we were doing it and what was the reason for that. So we thought this was probably a good thing that we need to, yes, update goals, but also talk about why we're doing what we're doing and what should we be doing in a more kind of thoughtful manner. And I think a couple of things that I know we talk a lot about, but are not included in these goals are accessibility and education. And so how do we want to move forward and update these goals? Because they are old and we probably should be looking at them at least once a year just to change the date on them as they exist out there, because this is now 4 years old. And
One thing we can do is have, you know, goals that span 2 years.
yeah,
Things
yes.
having to, you know.
Yeah.
We meet once a month, right, where it's a little challenging to make a lot of progress in
Right.
1 year, so.
I agree.
Do you
Buffer.
know how long before 2022, how frequently we updated them? Was anyone here then?
I don't remember.
I could probably find it somewhere, but.
Don't remember all
But I agree, if you could say like it's BPAC 26, 27 goals, right? Put it over 2 calendar years, and that's a more reasonable for,
I was just wanted to add something from the Redmond group, BPEC that I was a part of. It was usually like our January meeting was a bulk of reviewing and plugging in work plan goals. So, but also if every 2 years, I mean, they're always pretty similar. It's like, we're going to do the count and we're going to do a safe, what is that? Safe rides to school? Safe nights? Safe routes. Thank you.
The nights.
I'm combining a couple events, but yeah, I think so. Overall, pretty similar, but that was just really helpful and kind of was our drumbeat for the year.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. And I'm
Nothing
wondering
else.
too.
I was just gonna say, if nothing else, then at least bringing them up once a year.
Yeah, to be like, are we good? Is the.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the
Are we-
table setting kind
Yeah.
of for the year. That's great.
Okay. Sorry, Matt.
Yeah, I just kind of echoing Matt. I think it's like, the organizing documents seem fine, like the charter, why BPAC exists. But as a member, and I've been on for about a year now, definitely just felt, to be honest, like confused the first several meetings, like what are we even doing? Because it was just like lots of great updates from people. I learned a lot, but I didn't really get a tangible sense of what are we trying to accomplish this year or this, biannual period. So I think what I like about our current goals is there's only 4. And I think that's good, like 3 to 5 or 6 things every 2 years that we're focused on. But that way things like the summit don't keep catching us off guard. If our goal is to have a summit in 2026 or 2027, then let's write it down and let's make it happen. But if it's not on the goals sheet, then it feels like we just kind of forget about it and it doesn't happen. So
Yeah.
I think these certainly need updating, whether they need to be more specific, phased out, whatever. That's probably maybe some work that could happen a little offline, and then brought back at a future meeting or something. But I think the goals help give some meat to what the charter and the purpose of the group is. So I would fully support us updating this and bringing it to life again.
Yeah.
So how do we do that? Do we get volunteers, 4 or 5, 3 or 4 people to take a crack at at this, or do we have a group discussion with all 13 of us?
I think the former is the way to go for sure, David. Yeah, we like
Yeah.
a few of us, we had a little de facto meeting. And I'd be happy to be a part of a follow-up meeting that. And then we can bring, a slate of 8 ideas or something. And then as the whole group, we try to narrow it down to 4 to 6 or something. So we bring a little bit bigger of a list than we know that we can accomplish, and then we prioritize those as the whole group. That's how we really do it at the board here at OAS. Is
Yeah.
we have a million ideas, but we focus on 5 to 10 every 3 years. It's just so that would be my recommendation. I would be happy to participate in that, in between meeting.
So do we want to also look at, I agree, we need to do this in smaller groups, but do we want one group, all of it, or do we want to split this up? And maybe it's, or are we thinking that we're going to throw out the 4 points we have and do something completely different?
I think one group for everything personally, but
One
because it's
group.
supposed to be one cohesive.
Okay.
document.
Yeah.
That's just my.
Yeah.
Okay,
We could split up to smaller groups for each goal
Right,
later
that's-
if we decide to, but
Yeah,
Okay.
and that sort of
That's-
relates to
that-
our subcommittees.
right,
Already.
then that would-
That-
yep, feed into. Ooh, we could organize.
Yeah.
Since we aren't actually though the Board of County Commissioners, we aren't really a board in some ways. We're an advisory committee to the board. So sometimes I get a little confused and we can put a million lofty things, but really we aren't supposed to be advocates. We aren't supposed to be people who move things forward. We're really just supposed to be, so we're kind of in this weird
Yes.
catch-22 a little bit.
I would say that,
Cause I don't think we advise them.
I don't think, and I agree with, it was Pat who said that the bylaws and the charter and that stuff is kind of fine as is. And that requires like us going to the board in a public process, and that's a whole deal that I don't think we need to touch. But the goals are almost like a work plan, rather than just philosophical goals, it's like,
Yeah.
you guys at OAS revisit it every 3 years, you said, and it's our to-do list. So in that sense, that has to operate within the existing bylaws of BPAC and the things and dimensions that BPAC covers. So it's kind of umbrella, like tucked under that. Does that make sense? That's how I think about it.
So how are we advising the board though?
We ultimately, that's a good question. We answer to the board in that
Right.
we don't generally, they want BPAC to accomplish the things that are in that, I keep calling it a charter, but it's bylaws, on behalf of them. So doing all those things on behalf, advocating, well, within our limit, you know what I mean? Keeping people connected, doing all of those things.
Right.
We're not saying, hey, board, you should do this. Generally.
Right.
Unless it was the TSP.
But I mean, there are, there's a few things in here in the documents, from days gone by that, yeah, we're not being empowered to do like review transportation planning projects countywide
Yeah.
to assess their pedestrian and bicycle component. So, I mean, yeah, again, the board's going to change significantly. So, I mean, this is kind of a good time to get in, kind of clarify what maybe we can do. Get that on maybe a nice goal sheet and we have this as well, which I think is pretty well written, and then kind of start presenting that. And I don't know if that's something that, we want to wait until the new board's on, or we want to start, talking to, like Nick Lilac or something, or just kind of getting it in front of them saying like, look, this is what we asked some questions and, we're here, we want to help. We know things are going to change a lot.
Who's that?
I think
Sorry.
that's premature.
The county administrator.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think we need to figure out our stuff within ourselves a little bit before we take it up to any sort of.
Well, I was saying that once we get the goals done and everything, then maybe kind of have that conversation. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
certainly gonna have this conversation with Commissioner elects. Cause I know all of them and so, you know, in a casual basis, you know, not an official, but you know, just when I see them casually, I will bring this up saying, hey, I'm a member of this committee and, you know, hoping there's a potential, just so you know that the committee exists.
Right, yeah.
And then there's that problem, and then there's, you know, just the potential for maybe some improvements or more engagement, so.
Yeah.
And kind of gauge their feeling on that.
And part of that will be if we are, and this is getting a little bit ahead, but like if we are kind of asking for either more resources, whether that's staff time or other things, that becomes an item for them to consider on the next fiscal year work plan. So then it becomes a whole big thing and it's competing with like planning projects and development review and things like that. So I feel like we need, and that might totally change with the new board. I have no idea, but we need to be cognizant of that. The more resources we ask for, the more it's coming away from something else within the planning division. And they're already really strapped. So that's just something to keep in the back of our mind.
Okay. Sure.
I mean, just, I mean, as an example that's coming to my mind, like one of our goals should probably be to better engage with the new slate and expanded board of commissioners in the county. And we can come up with a few examples of what we want to accomplish in that regard. There's nothing to do with actually like planning projects, but that's what we want to do, right? Is we want to better engage with this expanded group, and that's the goal. That's all we need to do. And then we can go from there. We don't need to worry about exactly what that's going to be yet.
Well, is this something we even want to tackle until we have a chance to feel out or see the direction the board's going to go? Because they could come in and say, we don't even want to have BPAC. And we're gone. And so do we want to get a feel for what the new board's going to do or not do going forward? Or would you, I'm just afraid we're spinning our wheels trying to redo goals and that when we do have an affidavit from the county saying what we are. And we may or not be there with the new board.
But I think it would behoove us to get in front of it.
Yeah.
Versus be on our heels with a new board, because we may get further than we are right now. And I think that comes from us being prepared to say, here are our goals. What do you think? And here's what we're ready to move forward with. I don't know if anybody else has any comments on it.
Yeah, I agree. If I was a commissioner and the charter was put in front of me, I'm looking at it here. I would look at this list of, okay, why does BPAC exist?
Exactly. Yeah.
And then I would say, hey, Diane, what are you all doing to actually accomplish these goals? And if we had oh yeah, here's our list of goals for 2027, actually, I'd be like, okay, great, this is a good thing. If it was like, oh no, we haven't even talked about it 4 years, then I would start to question whether it's worth existing or not. So I 100% support you there. We should get out ahead of it. And it doesn't need to be, the less complicated, the better.
Right.
The more simple the goals are.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
Big the better.
And I think we really, I mean, not to make this seem simple, but in some ways we sort of check the box for community engagement, because that's kind of what we are.
Yeah.
We are a place for community engagement. So, you know, we're open to public, we represent various parts of, you know, districts and cities and whatnot. But I think and I think, I can't see this new board coming and saying, gee, we don't really want community engagement. We think that's a bad idea. I'm not getting that vibe right now. You know, so I think it's very right. I think you're right, Patrick. Just have some very simple things, and then we see what happens, and then we can flesh things out at the appropriate time. Just keep it real simple for right now.
The one thing that I'd like to get a decision from us on before we break up and send 4 people off to revise this is what we want to do with the summit. Do we want that group to decide what the summit, at least that we're going to have a summit, we're going to have a summit every other year, or do we want to have some ideas for them before we send them off to do this? Because the summit is when we do the summit, it's the single most it uses more energy than anything else we do when we
Yeah.
do it.
Yes.
So are we saying we want to decide whether we're going to have one before we set goals, or?
So do we want this group to come back with a proposal, or do we want to send some information to the group about what we are planning to do?
I mean, I think like Pat suggested, I mean, the list can be longer.
Yeah.
I think there's value in probably putting a lot of things on there.
Okay.
And I think the group can really work to maybe weigh things, and then the rest of us can ultimately decide like, okay, this one's not worth it, or.
But
But I think the summit probably is one of our goals, and I think that's
that's.
for them to come back with a proposal of, yes, let's do it every year. Yes, let's do it every 14 months. Yes, let's do it. Here's what we recommend.
Yeah,
So let's make that part of the goals is a
at a minimum, we
recommendation.
need to make that part of the report that comes back to be part of the goals.
Yeah.
And then we have to decide as a group how often we actually want to do a summit.
Right.
And what's the idea of it? Is it this tri-county thing? Is it just within this, Deschutes County?
No, by county.
Yeah, and as we find all the time in meetings, half of our people are coming in on Zoom because you're working and you've got life. So the summit thing becomes really complicated, as we've discovered as time goes by. It was easier before Zoom in some ways, because at least most people had to be in the same room talking at a meeting. But by not having, by having Zoom, then we can have younger people who have jobs and other things, which we want. We don't want this just to be a committee of retired people. So, yeah. It's as clear as mud, right?
I think for me being on the committee a couple of years, the summit to me represents one of the big values this group brings, and this shared updates, and doing that on panels and bringing in other groups and things like that. I think but it is a big lift, and I'm just wondering if there's a way, that we structure that, because I think it's such a value add and helps bring people together, build connections, showcases important projects or pushes on certain things. And I brought this up last year too, of I think having it be a role on the committee, which this is probably beyond our goals, but just so that one person, David Green, isn't always carrying the torch for 2 or 3 years. Maybe if you lead the summit one year, then you support it the next year, then you roll off, or some kind of system like that would help.
Yeah.
Help share the load, because it is a lift. But it's just something I think that my time on this committee, it's been one of the most impactful parts. So I think it definitely should be in the goals.
Yeah, and I agree with you to have a standing committee that is responsible for the summit.
And I think we
so-
talked about in the past,
Yeah.
of really finding a partner organization, so we are not doing the whole thing.
Well, I think
That would be-
CSTC wants to be a partner organization.
Yeah.
So.
They were interested
Yeah,
in.
and I talked to them, and we kind of had to push them off a little bit because of, so they are interested.
Yeah.
So that's not unknown. Forgot what I was gonna say. Shouldn't have asked before I came here. So I'm gonna just throw something out. If you read the bylaws, we can have committees that have non-members on the committee. So we could ask people from the public, we don't have to be part of these committees. We don't have to do it just within the 13 or 12 or however people we have now. I realize that that's not something we've done in the last year or so that I've been on the board or on the committee. But it is another option is, we have a lot of people that are interested.
It's also a great pipeline to get people on that as
Yes,
members too. We do that here for our board as well. So this gentleman we talked about earlier,
yeah.
if we need a place for them to go. I don't necessarily want to put it in front of them right now, but agreed. If we have these subcommittees,
Yes.
one thing at a time, I guess.
Yeah. But just something I think going forward, we need to be a little more
open to bringing more people. And it might bring more people to the table and. Yeah. But I do have one question on the charter bylaws where it's at, but it does say we're supposed to vote on chair, co-chair, or vice chair and secretary in June. Have we moved that? Must be another,
When did we do it last?
I don't remember.
I'd have to look it up in the minutes. I mean, we
Anyway.
were pretty true to that for a while.
You guys, I think it's
It
been a
was.
year. I'm sorry to say.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it was last
it
summer.
feels like a year, yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, so it's something that we need to think about too.
Okay.
As part of this larger conversation,
Yeah.
trying to throw in, I'm on TBOC and we recently went through some of the same sort of existential stuff. How do we reformat around different formats, going from an advisory body on a specific thing into a larger one? So I don't know if there's any lessons to be taken out of that, but if there are, I'd recommend Kim Curley. She went through it as well and is also sitting on the future, I think it's TMAC now.
Okay, one of the goals is not to change. the name.
Yeah. But as you go through all this, there was a lot of discussion around this with these changing bodies as well as city council. So, there are a lot of overlaps there in terms of where it might be a value, what is. So.
I'd recommend Kim Curley for anything, any day of the week, so.
Oh, that's
She
not
gets to be
fair. I'm not
virtual.
even there, you guys.
Saying things.
Yeah.
Wait for you to leave to say the bad things.
Right, thanks.
Just don't miss a meeting or you will be voted in.
Yeah, I know that deal.
Yeah, okay, so I think we had started kind of down the path of the summit planning with Kim, Pat, Matt, myself, and Wendy. Is that, anybody else want to does that group want to take on the initial stab at goals? And if so.
So you're sidelining Summit and
I think-
pivoting to goals, is that what you're proposing?
Well, we just talked about that same group would come back with the recommendation of the summit as well.
Yeah.
So not this group.
Sure. I don't remember being part of that group. I don't know how my name got in there, but I'd be happy to.
She just put your name out.
I just threw you in.
Oh, okay.
No, I did not.
Hey, this is Kim. I think I put it in the chat, but nobody saw it, I don't think. I think we should decide though that we're not gonna try to do a summit in 26. I mean, it's halfway over. And I don't have a pile of time to slam a meeting together in 3 months. So can we just decide that we're not gonna do it until next year at least?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, good.
Would be nice though to say, are we gonna do it in the spring or fall? Not
Well, our
summertime
little
because
committee
people
will
are
get
gone.
back to you, Dave.
Yeah.
So there you go.
So can we ask that group to come back with a goal and summit proposal in August? Is that too,
We do have a five-week month.
And again, it doesn't
Summer
have-
plans,
It doesn't have to be fleshed out.
Yeah.
It's an outline.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right, so,
it's a concept of a plan.
yes.
Can you remind me, sorry, who that is? Wendy, Diane, who else was that?
Matt, Pat. Matt, are you still participating? Pat and Kim,
Yeah, I would be happy to.
thank you.
Thank you.
I am out the last 2 weeks of July into the first week of August. So if our goal is to bring something in August, I'm available to meet till the 17th of this month, but would miss it if it's going to be after that. And happy to host here again at OAS. We have a great meeting space here. So.
Pat, can you send us a couple options where we could meet at the office?
Yeah, for sure. I'll send you a bunch of time windows. Next 2 weeks are pretty open for me. So
Yeah, me too.
cool.
I'm away the week after next, but I'll send my dates, the calendar. 13th to the 16th is be traveling for.
Sounds like next week is a good time for us to meet.
ambitious?
It might be ambitious, but it might be good to be a little ambitious if we can.
Yeah, it sounds like maybe next week it might be the
Yeah.
good week.
say next
So
week.
if most of you can do that, then that'll probably work.
great.
Have to,
I can do the end of the week. Just not Thursday. Usually flexible, but not next week.
I'll send the initial email out with what's open and then we can line it up from there.
Okay, sounds good.
So the goal is you guys will come back.
We'll come back, yes, so next meeting, we will come back with something.
Yeah.
Sounds reasonable.
Yeah.
Well, again, I like, you know, Pat saying, keep it as simple as possible.
Yep.
Yep.
Easier said than done, but I mean, it's, you know, nobody wants a 2-pager, so.
No, but it may come back to this group as a 2-pager for us to
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
sort through. Uh, That's it. Is that it?
And then, and I guess if anybody has ideas or goals or anything that pop up, who would be send them to you?
Yeah, you can send them to me.
Okay.
If anything that anybody
Middle
wants
of the night.
middle of the night, yeah. Make sure it goes to my email, not to my eyes.
Yeah.
And maybe Tanya, I can work with you on this. The one that has the resource list on our website.
Oh, yes,
that
and
has
like, and
those
her,
links.
Matt had sent an email to me and Jennifer about website updates. So I'm gonna work on cleaning up the website, just getting rid of the stuff that doesn't work as
Okay.
very first pass, now that our website is semi-functional.
Okay.
And then we can use it up a little more later.
Sorry to interrupt. I'm looking at it right now. Thursday, anytime 10 a.m. or later. Do we just want to pin down a time right now with this group?
I won't be there
Thursday.
on Thursday.
You can't do Thursday. Wednesday, anytime before 2 p.m.
what's the date on the Wednesday?
The 8th.
I should be okay. If not, I'll be online. I have
I'm free after 10:30 that day, so I'm good in the afternoon.
yeah.
The afternoon's not great for me on Wednesdays. This is gonna be the problem already, right?
What about 11 a.m.?
Yes.
That works for me.
I'm good.
Okay.
11 on Wednesday?
11. Lock it in. All right.
Yep.
It's happening.
We will make this work.
That's the
And then
hardest part is scheduling the meeting.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Absolutely.
So then do we also need to talk about our positions again? I thought it was later in the year.
What?
Oh, like chair and all
Yeah.
that. Yeah, no, I think it's been a year. I mean,
Good close.
yeah, it's,
I thought it was October or something.
It was in the.
I thought it was too.
I'll wait till September for that then.
Yeah, I don't want to.
yeah.
Or
But
October.
people should think about if they want to
Yes,
see chair, vice chair,
yes,
don't want to be those things.
yeah.
Then, yeah. And get that information to you, I guess, so as well.
Well, yeah. All right. I think that's. Anything else? Anything I've missed? Any meetings that anybody's been to? Probably not since it's summer.
So we did it in September.
Oh, did it in September. Okay.
Maybe that was wrong, but that's what we did last year.
September's coming.
I mean, we could do it in September with the goal of doing it in June next year.
That's the goal.
You wanna
Get back online with our.
say the letter of the law, but.
I don't think that's that big a deal. So it is in September, so just think about those positions. Fast. Yeah, it's coming up quick. Okay, all right. Meeting adjourned.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you.
you.
Good to see everyone.
Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.